Okay, guys, I know I've been promising the ACTA2 people a little recommendation list, which I'm still kind of formulating. Today is Tuesday. I have been home since Saturday. Now, one thing I can tell you is this whole malnourishment claim on the diagnosis list I've been working on. I've been eating pretty consistently since I got home. I'm talking at least 2 or 3 meals a day. I tend to eat everything that's put in front of me. Obviously, I want to eat only what I want to eat, and most of it is stuff that is good, except, obviously there's some prepared pizzas and stuff like that are in the list just because I need to get food into me quickly. I did mention to you guys that I was not on any blood pressure control or beta blockers, but when I was in on Saturday, they told me that because the pacemaker, they actually amp up much higher than what you may be comfortable with when you're going through the surgery. And that's just because they want it to be beating strong enough to get the blood to all the extremities. Obviously, your heart may have been damaged in whatever surgery they may be doing. So it's actually tuned up a lot higher than anything I was comfortable with. I think when I had it, it was like 70 to 116 is what they wanted it to be. But it was in the first few days, well over 100. I complained about it. Then they pulled it down to the 90s, and actually even today, the pacemaker itself is set to the 80s. Now, I did ask them on Saturday if they may be able to tune it back down to the 70s, just because I am hyper aware of what it is, just because it's just a different thing, Last year, this time, my heart rate was in the 40s, which allowed me to actually sleep very well and easily. And now that's not really the case. I mean, obviously there's other stuff going on, but it's just, being forced to be that awake is a little tough. Plus, I always believe, you only have so many heartbeats left, and, they should probably turn it down. But they told me on Saturday, because they did not have a Medtronic representative who was working, that if I asked them to pull it down to the 70s, that they would require that I stay in the hospital a few more days, which everybody knows was not a good idea. Your goal should be to get out of the hospital in order to recover in the best way that you can. So what they did do is they put me back on, metoprolol, because that actually controls your blood pressure, or not blood pressure, your heart rate. And I think it does have blood pressure control as well. I am in a 50 milligram extended dose release, and once I see my cardiologist, we will actually have them tune it back down to the 70s, my heart rate, and then I should not need to be on that at all. Again, my actual blood pressure readings are much better than they've been in years. And of course, I mentioned years ago in 1995, I lost both kidneys. One of them works very well. The other one is just like my sad walnut kidney. So for however this is explained, my blood pressure has somehow been corrected. But again, I had to take the metoprolol until I see the cardiologist, because there was no way that I was going to stay in the hospital any longer than I was required to. Now, everything else is just, you're supposed to get out 10 minutes twice a day. I have only been out once the past few days. I think today we may try twice, and it's basically 5 minutes walking into the courtyard and sitting on the bench for about 20, and then 5 minutes walking back. I'm kind of, splitting this apart just because I don't quite have the endurance, and it just kind of hurts, It's just to push your body to do that. So I will be working on that. I will also be working on the ACTA2 video, because I think I have some great recommendations just based on my own anatomy and how actual paper thin our vasculature tends to be. And of course, we want to prevent you guys from having to endure as many surgeries as I've had. Again, I am feeling so much better. Everything in my house is a little lighter than it was previous, because last year, a few days after surgery, I was regretful. Anyway, this is just an update. I hope everyone is doing well. And tonight we are doing Taco Tuesday. That's my excitement. All right, take care, guys. Thanks again. Bye.